Welcome back, guys, to what I suspect will be a fairly uneventful episode. We're currently at peace, but we need to rebuild our troops and deal with the rebels that we currently have wandering around our city. Our country even, sorry. In the last episode we were at war with the Golden Horde, and we had a few unfortunate events with a 6-shock Golden Horde general, and they managed to wipe out 2 of my standing armies. So it's very important to get them replaced as soon as possible. I'm going to leave 2 units of cavalry to start sieging Muscowy. However, we need infantry to get this province back quickly. We do have an extremely high amount of revolt risk at the moment. The most likely here is 18%, that's up in Voronezh, so it's very, very important that we get our revolt risk down. That's mainly a part of the war exhaustion. That's at 9.98, so 10% of that revolt risk is simply due to the war exhaustion. I think I'm also going to start converting some provinces. We have a mission to convert Bryansk, so that's a good place to start. Okay, we've had some rebels pop up. I think I'm going to invest entirely in land for now. It's important to notice that our economy is changing. Almost a third of our income is now coming from production. At the beginning, tax was the main source of income, but that is changing over time, and I expect it to change much more as we expand eastwards. Okay, you're heading down to Sherson. This wasn't a large army I sent up to deal with these rebels, and the rebels have been reinforced, so I need to be very careful not to get them wiped out. Okay, these guys have done well for dealing with the rebels. It's mainly an infantry army, so they focus more on siege warfare. As far as our army goes, the most effective at wiping out units so far has been cavalry, without question. I don't think I've allocated a large enough army to deal with these rebels, but it looks like the reinforcements are slowly being built. I don't know if there's any religious decisions I can enact at the moment. Okay, we have the Suffrage and Bishop Act, which will decrease our overall tax, but make it easier for us to regain stability. And another one which will make it more expensive to regain stability, but cheaper missionaries. I'm not too concerned about the missionary cost. I would like the Act of Uniformity, which gives us +4 missionaries a year, but I need a lot more government tech before I can enact that decision. As we head towards innovation, we'll be getting fewer missionaries, and to kind of ensure religious unity throughout Russia, we are going to need a lot of them. In fact, I'll let these guys wait in Beluzaru, and we'll just reinforce them. Should be a lot easier to wipe them out with a larger army, of course. Okay, the walls have breached. Ah. It's another super fort. Okay, that's good. Okay, so about 3.5 years before the Golden Horde will show up again. We forced the Golden Horde to release Zaporozhye as a vassal last time, and they have just recaptured them, re-vassalized them. I was hoping we'd be able to declare war on them fairly quickly and annex them for ourselves, but it looks like the Golden Horde got in there before us. It's falling fairly quickly, but I'd like it to hurry up a bit. Even more rebels. A close member of our family has proven utterly naive and keeps telling foreigners vital information publicly. So we can either execute him and lose stability, or gain compromised spy defense for 10 years. I'm going to take the compromised spy defense, because most of our wars will be against the Golden Horde, and you don't tend to see them using spies. Okay, 3 more regiments of infantry should have this army ready to begin sieging. think I'd better stop minting so much. That was pretty excessive. So what we should be left with once we've finished building our troops is 2 armies to besiege forts. That's the Second Army here and First Army, very inventively named, and 2 regiments of cavalry forces. So they should be trying along the border, wiping out any armies that come across, whilst the besieging armies come along and, as you'd expect, seize the provinces so we can recolonise them. And I appear to have lost track of just how many regiments I've built, so I'll wait for these guys to arrive on the 3rd of September and see just how much more we need. Brandenburg have been beaten up by Poland, it seems. Huh. Okay, so 6 more knights are needed. Okay. We will of course need to deal with Poland and Lithuania at some point. They are the only obstacle to us forming Russia. But as we saw previously, they appear to be fielding a considerable amount of armies. And Lithuania had 50,000 on the border at one point. That has been reduced now, they're only fielding 16,000 troops. I suppose whilst those armies are building, we can have a look at how our country's doing. As far as income's doing, we're earning half as much as Timurids, who are the current leader, and we are within the top 10. We are the 8th best country as far as income goes, which is nice. We are constantly closing the gap between ourselves and the Golden Horde, which should make them easier to deal with. The most important thing, though, the best piece of progress we have, is the fact that we've got a much, much larger pool of manpower. In our earlier wars, we were being crippled by not having enough men, but that's no longer seems to be the case. Starting to get a few of these events now, just adding to our revolt risk. Naturally, they become more common the further you head towards innovation. Oh, dearie me. Oh, this is a terrible event. So we can either lose 2 stability, which is pretty painful, or gain 3 inflation. Now, I was looking to stop minting when I got to around about 10 inflation, so if I take this, the easy option, that's really going to cripple my minting effort, and therefore my colonising. So I'm going to have to take this. I'm going to have to lose 2 stability. If you're watching this and thinking, what am I doing? Then, well, fair enough. I can't argue with that. It's a very silly thing to take, but I just need the money at the moment. So yeah, naturally we're going to get more rebels now because each level of stability gives you a 1% reduction of revolt risk, and now we've lost 2, that's an extra 2% everywhere. At least we've managed to wipe out our war exhaustion though. Ah, good, good. Poltava has converted to orthodoxy. I'm going to have to mint a little bit more. At this current rate we are running at a very slight deficit. No doubt a result of the lowered stability. It does increase your income everywhere. How's the central trade doing? Not too bad. She'll leave this regiment in Zaporozhye just to deal with this army here. And this cavalry should be able to deal with the north. Anyone coming from Vyatka or Kazan. I still think it's a really strange looking country. Really need to fix those borders. Ah, we just lost our commandant. That's extremely bad timing. Okay, well I'll call this for an episode. In the next episode, or tomorrow in fact, the Golden Horde will arrive and we'll take more of their stuff. Marvellous. Thanks for watching guys, see you next time.